And hello, all of my fellow nerds out there. This is Orlam and welcome back to our Wonderland Arc 5.5. Oh, it's been quite a long while since I made another video. I know. But so the bad news is that our friend Bill couldn't really fix my laptop's monitor, so I got myself a new monitor, as you guys probably saw. And hopefully this new monitor will be a bit better than my laptop right here. Like, it runs off of my laptop, but it just looks nicer on this screen. Anyways, continuing where we left off. And so I lean on Genzo's shoulder as we wander the lengths of the giant concrete conduit, careful to avoid the shallow creek of black mire bisecting its base. It eventually widens, opening up into a larger square aqueduct built around a standing basin of water. Clean, surprisingly, at least from what I can tell. But past it is pipe after giant pipe, pumping out more and more the same miasmatic muck from the river. It lurches and sloughs as it spews from the pipe into the channel below, where it forks off into another system of ducts that siphons it out of the castle. It's here that we finally pause to collect our breaths and our wits. The acid seems to be originating from here, then? Gidget muses as their gaze flicks around on the chamber. They stop to watch the acidic sludge ooze and weep through the troughs? The troughs? I don't know. Radioactive shit wasn't in my bingo card for this post-memorified Orlam, but hey, he did have some pretty fucked up eating habits. I agree. I'm not so sure this is excrement. The pipes are everywhere, jutting out. Oh, whoops, my bad. Jutting out from the walls, protruding from the ceiling, bubbling up from the ground. All of them churning out more and more of this stuff, funneling it out of the castle and into the river and lake, and the waterways beyond. It seems to be seeping through every inch of the place, a constantly throttling poison of surging within the walls. Stick by Genzo, stick by Gidget, stick by yourself. Oh god, I actually don't know. Oh, who do we stick by? Or do we just stick by ourselves? Let's stick by Genzo. I'm both shaken and shaky. And the pain from my wrist has turned into a dull throb that travels up the entire length of my arm. Genzo helps me gently until the lip of the basin, then starts to move away until I curl my fingers into the fabric of his jacket. I see his eyes widen at first, then soften. He sits down beside me, fingers warm as he helps me wash the blood off my arm, gentle as he tears off a hunk of fabric from my shirt to wrap it in. It won't do a lot of good. The wound is too deep, and the blood is yet congealed. But it'll keep me from bleeding all over everything, at least. Genzo's brows furrow as he looks at it, his eyes darkening with concern. Once he's finished, I take a moment to close my eyes and bask in the quiet darkness. When Genzo puts a hesitant arm around my waist, I don't pull away. It's a comforting touch, one that stills the tremble on my lips and the flutter in my heart. Gidget takes his time to search our environs. I watch them wandering about, their hands on their hips as they study the surrounding walls. Looks like there's a hatch, they simply say. I followed her gaze towards the vague outline of a door in the ceiling near the far wall. Reaching it will be somewhat tricky. But between a couple of raised platforms and a series of indented handholds, we should be able to make it work. We give ourselves another 10 minutes or so to ensure we're good and ready before making the climb. Despite my trepidation at what lies on the other side, I can't deny my desire to get out of the damp sewerway. My teeth are starting to chatter, and we stand facing the first of the raised platforms. Ginzo's brows twist in worry. Your lips are turning freaking blue, Eggs. It's just a little cold, is all. I rub my bare arms. My clothes aren't exactly suited for this kind of environment. The cold water I'd washed my arm with certainly hadn't helped. Come on, we'll be out of here soon. Gidget gestures before pulling themselves up on the platform and offering an arm out, first to me, then to Genzo. The three of us are making our way skyward. Aside from the slick veil of slime covering everything, it's not a particularly difficult climb. But we take it slow, all the same, not keen on any more errors in judgment before we've made it inside. At the top, Gidget gives a mossy handholds a moment of scrutiny, before saying, "The hell with it," and launching themselves upwards. "Hold me, will you?" They grunt under their breath. And Genzo grabs a hold of their legs to keep them from falling backwards as they begin pushing and prodding at the square-shaped door overhead. It's stuck! A breathy huff, followed by another grunt, this one elongated, as they push their hands against the grimy surface of the door. There's a grinding noise, the crack of stone on stone. Then slowly, ever so slowly, it begins to move. You got it! Keep pushing it! Just a bit further! Gidget lets out a bark of exertion, and I see the muscles in their arms trembling as they heave the heavy stone block up and out of the way. It slides with a heady groan, thick gobs of muck squishing out between the cracks as it gives away. Gidget simply gazes up at their handiwork for a moment, wiping the sweat off their brow. Then refines their grip on the handholds and pulls himself up through the newly opened hole. "Come on," I hear them say before they disappear into the void. Genzo shoots me a shrug and one brow arched, and then climbs up after them, and I throw one last glance into the clammy murk of the aqueduct before following suit. We emerge in a world of blackness, complete and utter darkness, to the point that I can't even see my hand in front of my face. A clatter in my left makes me jump, but it's followed by a string of four-letter words and a grumble of exasperation from Genzo. Did his royal turd nuggets not pay his electricity bill, or what? I hear Genzo push himself back up to his feet with a groan. Genzo's voice comes from a short distance away. We seem to be in some sort of storage room. Is there a light or something? I try reaching out, only to promptly knock a handful of cans off a nearby shelf. The resulting racket makes my heart leap into my chest for a second time. I'm looking. Maybe he's got tired of looking at himself in the mirror and turned off the lights. Found it. A click. Then a second click. And a rapid-fire series of clicks on and off. But the room remains shrouded in spine-chilling obscurity. The light doesn't work. Brilliant deduction. Try for the door. If we can at least get out of wherever this is. More clumsy searching. I tried for the left, only to promptly whack my head in the corner of a box. Ow! I hear Gidget and Genzo having similar luck on their side. A thud, followed by a rattle. Another string of curses from Genzo. God, fuck this fucking hellhole of a fuckhouse. Then the sound of a door clicking. Ah! A creak. Creak! Gidget pulls the door open. Oh? And the three of us are bathed in moonlight. Just for a moment, we can do nothing but stand there, staring out past the doorframe. The Gidget places a hesitant step forward and another, walking slowly and silently out into the hall. The rest of the castle is as dark as the storage room. No lights, no candles, none of the sparkling chandeliers I recall from my memories. But the large windows allow giant swaths of moonlight to coat the walls like buttered milk, casting everything in vivid contrast and setting long, jagged shadows across the marble floors. It's quiet. Deathly quiet. Except for the soft pitter-patter of rain starting to dot the window panes. A rumble of thunder in the distance makes my already queasy stomach twist in anxious nausea. Don't tell me he's been down here watching Interview with a Vampire on repeat. Genzo's voice shudders despite his facetious remark. There's certainly an unsettling ominousity to this place. Where is everyone now? The rabbits? The nobles? I take a step out into the gloom, watching as the shadows curl into different patterns behind me. Ginto holds a hand to his mouth as though stage whispering. I think they were EATE. We don't know that. Come on, there's no point in staying around here in the dark. Gidget readjusts their hands with a huff and takes off down the hall. I follow into flustered steps behind them, hair on my arms standing up like a caterpillar of fur. As behind us, Genzo takes one look towards the windows and slowly building rain before jogging after us. Our footsteps echo off the walls as we walk. Shadows jumping with every step. It's surreal. Everything's so deathly quiet around us. As I stare up at soaring pillars and haunting ceilings, I can still picture them in their heyday, glimmering with golds and reds as rabbit attendants shuffled about in their cleaning. Now, however, there's a visceral sense of melancholy seems to coat the walls, dripping down into our shoes. Outside, the rain is picking up. Ooh! The occasional flash of lightning illuminates our surroundings in shuttered flickers that reveal a decrepit state of things. Overturned furniture, paintings, mirrors, and other chandeliers lying cracked against the wall or shattered across the tile. Wallpaper ripped and scratched and boasting off-color stains that make my stomach twist. We pass by an especially large portrait of Orlam, in all his regal glory, flaunting gaudy velvets and surrounded by all sorts of expensive-looking fineries. This one is still on the walls, but with a brilliant flash in the window, we can see it's no less spoiled. 3 giant slices have been hacked across the painted surface, bits of the canvas dangling to reveal the frame beneath. Kento whistles beneath his breath. Guess someone wasn't happy with that one. Ooh! A loud thunderclap punctuates his quip. I wince and step just a bit closer to the others. Still no sign of him, though. This castle is ridiculously large. Gidget grimaces, staring off into the dark. I'm not even sure where to... His room! Both Gidget and Gizzo turn to look at me, faces colored in surprise. I turn my own gaze downwards, rubbing sheepishly at the back of my neck. I mean, if I had to guess, it's all. And then, almost as an afterthought, I could probably take us there. Right, because he remembers the other loops! They both just stare at me for a moment. Then Gidget steps back, arms outstretched as though inviting me forward. Lead the way, then. I stumble forward awkwardly, not used to taking point, but try to bury my absent abashment, at least temporarily, so I can focus on the task at hand. Things may seem different, for sure, and it's an awful lot darker. But I walked these halls many times. I can navigate us through them now. I guide us out to the curtained corridor. Out of the curtained corridor to the left, down a wire passage lined with shattered chandeliers and cracked tiles from a once grand mosaic that had lined the ceiling. I glance up at it. My mind flicks instantly back. Me stopping one evening to stare up at it after a particularly filling dinner. Orlam slinking up beside me as he so often did, arm around my waist, while he regales the tale of its history. The King's Reception, he'd called it, showcasing his triumphant arrival in Wonderland, and the reverence with which he'd been first crowned. Now, however, the pieces of his once proud moment are laid battered and broken on the ground. I bite down on my lip so hard I could taste blood, but continue my forward track all the same. Another boom of thunder, so loud this time it shakes the walls. God, I hate this so much. I clench my eyes shut, then back open. Focus, Iggy. Everything is fine. You're fine. I take us round the next corner to the right, following the route of the memories dancing through my head. And at the next junction, the hallway widened into a large entryway, looming stairwell standing in its center. I start up the steps without a word. You, certainly seem to know where you're going, Genzo mused behind me. I assume this is some kind of pointed statement, and that I'm supposed to respond with an explanation for my knowledge. But the combination of shame and uneasy nostalgia keeps my mouth glued shut. More and more memories come filtering back across the forefront of my mind and further up the stairs as we climb. And when I glance up towards the landing, I half expect Orlam to be standing there, hands on his hips as he teases about something I said, something I'd done, the way I reacted to one of the nobles at the dinner that night. But there's nothing and no one there. Just unending darkness. When I step out onto the upper level and glance back, both Genzo and Gidget are just eyeing me curiously. We're, almost there, is all I say. Then renew my maudlin slog. This final corridor sears my mind like an electric poker. Yes, I've walked down this one many times. But now there's something foreboding about it. An incessant dull film of misery settling over everything like a heavy cloud. And the further we walk, the worse it gets. What the fuck? Kenzo's voice gives a hard jump, and I turn to see him gesturing to the walls. They're covered. Thick, sloppy red stains spackle the surfaces like an abstract painting. Dark, dry clots punctuate the chaos like lumps of coal. And beneath everything, crayon-like scribbles run jagged lines up and down the entire surface of the plaster. All of us just stand there for a moment, gaze flicking across the grotesque creation. What was that we don't know that back in the hall, Gidge? But even Gidget looks uneasy now, their lips pressed together tight, their shoulders rigid. My hope perhaps influenced my optimism. My own stomach feels like it's twisting into tens of thousands of tiny knots. Up ahead, I see some of the waxy crayon scribbles escape the wall and continue on across the marble floor, zigzagging their way towards the door at the end of the hall. The door. Oh shit, that's the door. That's the door to his room. Oh, I don't like this at all. The door I can still see as fresh and vivid in my memories as though it were yesterday. I swallow hard, spit getting stuck in my throat, but push forward anyway. Towards that door, and whatever it is that awaits beyond. The angel seems to buzz beneath my fingertips. A strange sort of electricity passing between the metal and my dizzying thoughts. I pause, hesitant, then let my fingers wrap fully around the round surface, sticky against my palm, and pull. The door creaks open. Strangely tinny in the silent corridor. And the three of us walk inside. The air crackles. A sense of unrealness tangible in the shadows. It's dark, deathly dark. The only light from the row of tall windows along the far wall now bear the scarlet curtains they once boasted. My skin feels alive. Electric crickle crackles creeping up my arm and legs along the back of my neck. And for a moment, I could do nothing but stand there as the shadows close in around me. Then another thunderclap. It fills the room in a roar of mighty beast, walls trembling, windows rattling in their frames, hidden items quaking in the darkness. For a second, the room becomes saturated with a blinding luminescence, a brilliant camera flash that imprints on my vision. Oh no, not this music again! Oh god. What's going on? Is that the rat tail boy? Oh, it's the rat tail boy! It's Orlam! Oh god, how is... My dear friends. It's him! Oh god, that animation though. Carrot, you stepped up your game. It's been so long. Ooh. Orlam? Oh shit. Oh god, how insane is he now? Apologies. I would have made myself more presentable had I been informed of your visit. Oh god. Oh shit, it's him. He's here. My men have gotten a bit lax at keeping me abreast of the goings-on beyond these walls. He looks awful. Even in the dim light of the moon from the windows, I can see a gaunt bruise of his cheeks. The darkened circles outlining his eyes. The grayish-green tint of his skin. Your men? Genzo takes a step forward, eyes sharp. You mean the homicidal were-rabbits prowling this place like long-eared bats out of hell? Orlam crosses his arms, nonplussed. They do get a bit testy sometimes. Then waggles a finger matter-of-factly in the air. Nothing a little treat can't assuage. I'll show you a little treat, you Oh god, his eyes darting back and forth. That's actually freaky. But Gitcha cuts him before Genzo can start his tirade. What the hell is going on here, Orlam? The castle, the rabbits, the state of this place. Orlam brings a hand to his chest in feigned shock. You're implying there's something wrong? He spins around with a flourish, lackadaisical smile playing on his lips. I admit it might take some getting used to, but it has its charm once you learn to see it. Charm? Genzo snorts. If you're the Grim Reaper, maybe. Orlam's smile widens. He tilts his head with a strange little sway. And here I'd almost begun to miss your irrelevant witticisms. We're worried about you. The words come tumbling out of my breath before I can stop them. And then Orlam flicks his gaze towards me curiously, and then my eyes drop. I mean, just that it's all a bit concerning. And with all of us remembering now, I wasn't sure how what? Iggy. Orlam asks with an impish grin. How I handled it? A laugh. He saunters over, a slight lilt coloring his steps. then pops my chin up with his finger. Yes, all those memories rushing back. It's quite overwhelming, wasn't it? Those many shared moments, shared words. Pain. The tingling sensation of death finally claiming our consciousness in sweet release again, and again, and again. He leans forward, lips practically touching my ear, then lets out a heady sigh as that dances across my skin. It was excruciating. Get your hands off him! Genzo grabs Orlam's wrist and jerks him away, which makes Orlam hum beneath his breath in amusement. He leans towards Genzo instead. Ah yes, there's no need to hide anymore, is there? He knows everything now, your woe-begone pining from afar. Oh, the sweet sorrow of love's unbiting yearnings. He reels forward in an over-embellished stagger, forcing Genzo to take a step back. Genzo snorts and tries to pull away. Yes, but Orlam isn't done yet. His time sidestepping behind Genzo, hands on his shoulders, up in his hair. He sinks in against Genzo's back as he presses his face up against his hairline. I imagine some of those memories were a lot. He dances his fingers on the zipper of Genzo's jacket. For you. Oh god, his tongue sticking out like he is a lot more sassy in this chapter than I remember him being from before. He's become sassier with each chapter, I swear he has. Genzo's eyes tighten and he pulls back into a scowl. What the fuck would you know? Oh. Whoops. But the tremble in his voice betrays his apprehension. Oh, I think I know a lot. A grin. After all, I did get so many delightful tastes. He pauses. Slinks around Genzo's other side as he gaze rises towards me. As did someone else. Oh shit. My heart jumps, panic shooting through my chest. My chest with a stifling jolt. And I take a small step back. Genzo blinks. Looks up at me. What's that supposed to mean? Orlam finally pulls away, smile morphing once again into an amused disbelief. Oh my, they don't know. He tut-tuts in the back of his throat. And here I assumed everything had been laid out on the table by this point. What the hell is he talking about, Iggy? Gidget this time. But I can't say it. How am I supposed to say it? I drop my gaze, clasping and unclasping my hands again and again. My chest feels like it's in a vice. I can feel the heat building behind my eyes. Yes, what is he talking about? Orlam saunters towards me this time. I suddenly desperately wish the floor would open up and swallow me whole. It's nothing, I finally eke out. Nothing? Orlam leans back, hands on his hips. I'm hurt, Iggy, after all the time we spent together. I don't really remember everything. I swallow hard, my voice trembling. The memories, they're all a bit fuzzy. This just makes Orlam grin curl even wider. He sidles up next to me, fingers climbing up my front before tugging teasingly on my collar. Memories weren't the only things fuzzy between us, I remember. I jerk backwards, face flushed, but it's too late. The tears building up in my eyes. I really did those things. Fuck. Shame sears my cheeks, and I bring my hands to my head, fingers clenching at my curls. Fuck. The people I'd hurt, the atrocities I committed. I turn to look at Genzo, who is just staring at me wide-eyed. This twists my heart further, forcing the tears down my cheeks. I'm sorry, I hiccup. I'm so sorry. I press my palms to my eyes so hard my head pounds. Sorry? Sorry for what? Orlam laughs, arms splayed in grandiloquence. We had a glorious rule together, you and I. Our own little world for us to command. I can feel Genzo and Gidge's eyes on me, boring into me, which just makes my fingers twist to get tighter. Sweet little Iggy, always blubbering on about wanting to make people happy. Orlam practically sings. But in reality, he's just as selfish and corruptible as the rest of them. A rattling thunderclap shakes the walls. Then it grows silent except for the sound of pouring rain. My stifled sniffling and trembling. Next to me, Genzo coughs, clears his throat. So, you did some fucked up things, yeah? You know what? Who the fuck cares? Indeed, as if any one of the rest of us haven't done worse. Agreed. I blink, lower my arms, part of me questioning my hearing as another part of me begins to unclench itself. Isn't it assumed at this point that this place fucks with your brains? Genzo laughs. Who says we need to hold eggs to some higher standard just because he normally has the gumption of a sun-dried peanut? He's already forgiven me for acts I myself deem unforgivable. Gidget's jaw goes tight. Why would I not forgive him for his own misstep into malignity? Or any of us for that matter. That's the way out of this, isn't it? Rising above our mistakes to fix what we've broken? Orlam just stares at us, his grin unwavering. He lowers his arms, cocks his head to the side. How positively touching! Orlam, I finally managed to say, my voice still cloaked with phlegm. Because I need to do something. I need to say something. Something to fix this. Fix him. Come with us. We're gonna put a stop to all of this. And then, because I don't know what to do, I extend my hand. I see my fingers trembling in the darkness. Illuminating in a flash of lightning from the window. Orlam takes a step back, then another. Cocks his head to the other side. Oh! He starts to laugh. A tiny trill of a giggle that reverberates from the base of his throat. Look at you three! So precious! The laughter is spilling from his lips now. If you all love each other so much, why don't you all just marry each other already? He brings his hands to his cheeks, shoulders shaking in mirth. The fuck? We're here, aren't we? To get you! Genzo growls. Despite how hard you fucking made it for us, we can put all of this behind us. Another peal of laughter. Oh, I'm glad all of you can! Forgive each other. For your Wonderland transgressions, my suffering started long before that. No one needed to plunge into moral depravity to hate me, to abuse me. A sharp crackle of thunder punctuates his diatribe. Orlam, no one hates you, we all just... Genzo goes stomping forward before I can finish. We're trying to help you, you dumb and ungrateful fuck. He yanks Orlam by the collar with a shake. Orlam seems to find all of this absolutely hilarious. Oh, look at you, so forceful. He doesn't even try to pull away, head rocking back and forth limply beneath Genzo's grip on his shirt. Have to show everyone that you're a big, strong man, is that it? How has that worked for you, Has the knight finally bedded his bow? Genzo's eyes go livid, and I see his grip tighten further still. Oh, but the tables have turned now, haven't they? Would you like to hear about it? All of our delightful time together? How he felt next to me in bed, the sounds he made when I run my hands through his hair. A laugh, high-pitched and shrill in the back of his throat. How does it feel, knowing that no matter how hard you try, no matter how close you get to the idealized version of manhood in your head, You'll never get as close to him as I have. Genzo's fingers are shaking now, tears springing in the corners of his eyes. Shut up! But Orlam's eyes are already glimmering with an untapped mirth. So angry. Are you gonna hurt me? That's all you ever do. Hurt people. A slowly festering disease that eats people from the inside out. Shut up! Don't you see? Orlam's eyes widened in growing excitement. Wonderland didn't need to turn you into a monster. You already were one! Heart clutching and panting, I start forward. Guys, stop! But Genzo's word cuts me off. Ooh! He pushes Orlam away with a strangled cry. Orlam goes tumbling backwards, landing with a slap on the floor. He goes silent again. Silent save for the audible fizzle of tension crackling in the air. Genzo, whisper. And Orlam's laughing again. Harder this time. A giant belly laugh as he curls himself in on himself, feet kicking in delight. See? Nothing's... Wait. I thought I heard him laughing. Tears are streaming down his face. Nothing's fucking changed. Something in the air seems to shift. A chill sweeping past my feet, past my cheeks, sending a tremble shiver up my spine. Orlam stumbles, lurches to his feet, still shaking with laughter, his entire body coursing with it. Except for one thing. He swipes his bangs to the side with a jerk of his hand and head and shoulders rocking backwards like a broken doll. Then he starts unbuttoning his shirt. Oh? We're in animation? Because you see, it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing you say can hurt me. Not anymore. Oh shit! That's when we see it. The long, jagged incision splitting the upper left corner of his chest. Don't fucking tell me this motherfucker ripped his heart out. It's deep, ugly cleft. Sliced flesh, pink and oozing bits of yellowish pus. Staples puncturing its length at erratic levels, making the surrounding skin pucker. Ooh! I can't feel. More laughter, the force of it making his bangs bounce against his cheeks. Anything anymore. Orlam, I start, eyes trembling in their sockets. What did you do to yourself? He stumbles forward, nearly tumbling to the ground before righting himself with a delayed squeal. The three of us take a step backwards, unable to look away. Do to myself? He lurches forward, pupils shrinking to the size of pinpricks as his grin curls impossibly wide. I made myself into a god, Iggy! Another cascade of laughter. It shakes this frame in heaving jolts. Nothing can hurt me anymore. All those memories of pain and suffering, they mean nothing to me. I can live in my life in glorious and anesthetized apathy. What the fuck? Even Genzo looked horrified, the color draining from his face. All takes another step towards us, then another. It's unnatural the way he pitches and weaves, like some kind of undead creature rising from the ground. You know, I was just going to let you all go on your way. A growl, but not from Orlam. From above. Oh no. A low-pitched snarl that ebbs out of the darkness and curls the hair upwards in the back of my neck. What do I care about your little mawkish journey of gallantry after all? Then another and another. Left, right, left. From further back in the room, shrouded in shadow, but approaching closer and closer. But now you got me reminiscing again. All those dearly beloved moments we shared. Our up-rose camaraderie. Orlam, I start when my voice gets stuck in my throat. And Genzo backs up into me, his body ramrod stiff. All three of us just staring. Yes, how could I let you just leave after this touching reunion? Orlam raises his hand, bony wrist bent backwards at a surreal angle and thumb middle finger pressed together. After all, I do love when we all hang out. He snapped his fingers. At that instant, the room goes bright. Lights flickering on one after another, illuminating the space, illuminating the... Oh, shit! Okay, just so you know, I didn't edit this. This is just pixelated in the game. I suck in my breath, eyes nearly popping out of my skull. There's so many of them. I bring my hands to my mouth as my stomach lurches. Bodies, flayed bits of gore and defillery, hanging from meat hooks looped around chain manacles. Carcasses with bone and tissues exposed. Innards dangling like sausages from a butcher at a... This is by far the most disturbing thing I have ever seen in my life. And yeah, it's all censored, but my god. They hang from the ceiling, from the walls, off the bedposts, so much and so many of them. Metal cages housing half-eaten corpses, viscera strewn over furniture, and rabbits. So many fucking rabbits. Lying amongst the gore, mouths smeared with it, spittle hissing around their teeth. Their growls rise as they start towards us, low and crouched as they sink through the carnage. Orlam, buddy, maybe we got this whole thing started off on the wrong foot. Genzo attempts to smile, hands waving in front of him. What happened to all that vainglorious bravado now, Genzo steps backwards and nearly trips. Pathetic. Can't even threaten the guy properly. Orlam's eyes flash, grin curving. And I see Genzo's eyes widen in faint recognition. You were pathetic then, you're pathetic now. You want to know why I despise you? Because you're a pathetic excuse for a human being. You drive everyone away. That's why everyone avoided you after the accident. That's why nobody cared that you almost flunked out. That's why your dad left you, and your mom to fend for yourselves. Because you're a pathetic, self-centered asshole! Gizzo's face is white at this point. His eyes strained, his pupils shaking, his brows sunken. And Orlam raises his hand a second time, pads of his middle finger and thumb kissing. And I don't need you in my life anymore. Snap. In the next second at the rabbits. Leap! Oh shit. They move like lightning. One moment sitting on their hunches, the next dizzying flashes of blood and fluttering claws streaking through the air. Run! He just snaps us out of our stupor, and twists immediately on my heels, ramming my elbow into the door and shoving it open. The three of us go flying out through the door, careening down the hall. Our steps a clamoring cacophony of echoing off the wall. I hear the door slam again and again behind us. More and more rabbits sailing through it, launching themselves at the tile and screaming after us. Must I go fast? Must I go faster? Must go faster? Must go faster? I barely hear, barely think. My shoes slip and slide on the shiny marble underfoot. I pinch forward, barely able to control my feet, myself, feet racing as I fasten my heart. A flash next to me. Oh shit. And a rabbit lands on the tile in front of us. I nearly jump, throw myself to the side and sending both Genzo and Gidget with me. Turn! We bank right. Around the corner. Stairs. Fuck, the stairs. But there's nowhere else to go. So we scramble towards them, screams and shrieks behind us, the harried scampers of furried feet on the marble. I made it out. I made it about 5 stairs in my frantic gallop. Then probably miss a step, my feet flying out from under me. I'm sliding down on my rear end, bumps and cracks and thuds on my leg, my arms and tailbone. Everything feels like it's happening all around me all at once, and my bones scream at me. A sharp whack on my shins, bringing tears to my eyes. A guttural thwack against my ribs takes the air out of me. I make it to the bottom and go rolling out across the landing, the world spinning around me. Genzo is quick to follow, sliding across the floor with a grunt. Gage is the only one on their feet, shouting at us from the bottom step with a frenzied wave of their arms. Try to find them! But the rabbit flies past them, cutting off their fervent instructions and nearly sending them back assward onto the floor. Rabbit's coming straight towards me. Over a startled cry, I somehow managed to roll out of the way just in time to watch it go sailing past. Sharp cracks from the stairs. Rabbits are jumping down the railing, leaving off the landing. Shit. But I spy Genzo back on his feet and waving down the opposite hallway. Gidget doesn't wait a moment. In spite of my bungling, I don't either, yanking myself back to my feet with a groan of effort and taking off after them. Then we're running again, down hall after hall. I hear clattering behind us. Glass breaking, wood snapping, breathy growls that feel like they're right on the back of my neck. And we turn right, then right again. Racing aimlessly in the dark, our only goal to get away from those things. I find the sewer entrance, something, anything. But even in daylight, we never have been able to find our way back, let alone in pitch blackness, while running pell-mell around the curve after curve. My lungs strained from the effort, already spent legs quickly numbing. Sheer adrenaline is all that's keeping me from moving at this point, and I'm not sure how much of it I have left. We're approaching a fork, the path splitting into two identical darkened corridors. Go left! I hear Gidget bark. Before I had a chance to question why, they stopped in front of us, leaving Genzo and I no choice to take the abrupt left. We go diving into the black hallway, and my head slammed sharply against the wall, making my vision dance. But I still managed to look up in time, see Gidget take a stance at the center of the junction, their jaw taut. What the hell are they? Before I have a chance to wonder further, I see nearest rabbits go streaking towards them. I sleepily jerk forwards, panic clutching in my chest. But Genzo grabs me around the middle and yanks me back against the wall, fingers over my mouth. And the next moment, Gidget spins off down the opposite hallway, disappearing into the black. Rabbits follow, their shriek still echoing in my head. We sit there, still, not moving. My heart's still pounding an overdrive in my chest, and my haggard breath pushes against Genzo's palm. Once the sound of the footsteps has faded away completely, Genzo relaxes his grip. Both of us slump down on the tile. I bring a hand up to wipe the sweat of my brow. Again and again, my fingers shaky. I throw a worried glance at Genzo. But what about? Genzo shushes me, and I see his gaze go skyward as he listens. Both of us just sitting there in silence as we keen our ears against the void. Then, footsteps, distant and soft, but running, getting closer, till they're practically right on us, and Gidget comes sliding around the corner as fast as they almost take a nosedive right into the floor. Then I jerk backwards so fast I slam my head into the wall, heart shooting up to my voice box. Gidget saves himself, stands up with a little hitch to strain their mussed shirt. I can see them trying to bury their inner tumult, collect themselves, and even as their breath comes out in harried bursts, they cough and glance down at us. And so I just stay gazing up at them. Jerry was right. They do go gaga over that stuff. I've heard of look back in the direction they've come. But we won't have long. Come on. They stick out their hand and I take it gratefully. Genzo pushed himself to his feet behind me. Then we began to jog anew. Getting out of the hallway would be a good first step. Anything that would get us out of a potential path that at least long enough for us to regroup and figure out a plan. We round the next corner to a larger hall lined with windows. I recognize it instantly. The large guest hall where the nobles would wait before important announcements, which means, indeed, there it is. I spy a small rectangle of blue light painting in front of the door at the far end. It's ajar then. The entrance to the throne room. I start towards it noiselessly, the world eerily silent aside from the soft taps of my shoes on the tile. The two red doors standing tall and imposing, the same as they had in their heyday. Back then, they represented power, excitement, news of revelry, and other grandiose changes to come. Now they represent nothing but memories and ruin. In here, I say simply, as though it will explain the way this room seems to be beckoning me. I press my hand on the surface of the door, then push. It opens slowly with a drawn-out rolling creak that sounds like a long-buried coffin being unearthed. And though I cringe at the sound, I don't stop, nursing it open until the gap is wide enough for me to fit. I step inside and look around. The throne room isn't much left as I remember it. Rounded sloping in ceiling impossibly high above my head. Row after row of wooden pews lining the wide expanse of the center aisle. Gorgeously detailed stained glass windows punctuating the walls at even intervals, casting kaleidoscopic light down on the white marble tile. And the stage is the apex of it all, oversized throne, crowning the scene like a topper on the world's most expensive cake. I pause for a moment, swallowing hard as I remember when there were two thrones there. Then my gaze fall on the new addition in the middle of the stage. A raised podium about waist height, slender at its base but widening out into the curved porcelain pool at its head, like a small wash basin, or drinking fountain, or what's with the sanctified birth bath? Yes, that, exactly. I'm not sure. I take a step towards it, then another. There's something ethereal about it, about the whole scene. Brilliant flashes of lightning sending more cascading waves of color down across the barren scene aren't helping things. As I approach, I see two dark troughs springing out from either side. They wind their way towards the opposite end of the stage before disappearing into ominous holes in the wall. And within them, they carry the muck, black sticky goop that's invaded every body of the water in this place. The acid that ate through the hull of the kiddie cruise, Genzo's leg, the malignant ooze choking and squeezing and infecting every inch of things like veins of poison, pumping more and more liquefied misery into the threads, weaving the stability of this world together. And at its center, lying innocuously amongst the ooze atop the podium, almost like some kind of mystical creature, beating. Oh, did we find what I thought we found? Is a heart. It's Orlam's heart. Oh shit. I suck in my breath. The acid is coming from it. With every shuddered pulse, another splurge of it gushes out, filling the bowl around it until the excess dribbles and oozes out over the side and into the troughs. It gurgles and sputters, sizzles, but never seems to burn. Just laying there, stretching, shrinking, stretching and shrinking. The group around it quivering with each visceral thump. The three of us are transfixed by it. None of us saying a word as we watch it beat, beat, beat. It's surreal. The hold it has on us. It's almost as though it's beating its way into our own hearts, thumping in time with our veins. I feel my head, my eyes, my breath begin to pulse with it. When I imagine a heart-to-heart with Orlam, this wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Gidget and I ignore him. But maybe this is for the best. And again, after all, at least this thing can't eat us. You're not helping things. When have I ever? Gidget waves his arms in exasperation. Shh. Gidget's brows turn sharp as they twist around to see them with their head poised at attention, ears keen. I go instantly silent. Not even breathing. Then I hear it. Footsteps. Faint but rapid. Getting nearer by the second. Shit! Genzo says for the three of us. They were running for the doors. To block them, I suppose, I'm not sure. Only that every single one of my nerves alights all at once and sends me hurtling back down the aisle towards the doorway. But it's too late. One flash. Two flashes. We only make it about halfway there when the doors slam open, while shuddering at the impact as a wall of brown fur begins pouring in. I'm hit before I can even stop my forward charge. One of the rabbits comes sailing at me, slamming it into me head on and rolling back down the aisle. The world spins around me, my bones knocking against the tile. And I always stop when the rabbit grabs the back of my shirt and slams me chest first into the floor, so hard I swear I feel my ribs crack. I croak out of breath, attempt to survey my surroundings, even as my vision continues to spin. A thought next to me, another rabbit has pinned Gidget down. I see them wince as their jaws snap against the marble, their eyes filled up with tears. And another thud past them. Genzo is similarly compromised, and looking none too happy about it either. He struggles and jerks against the rabbit's grip, a continuous flow of four-letter words on his tongue. But all it earns him is another shove against his back, this one visibly knocking the wind out of him. Grow silent then, all of us helpless and pressed to the tile, able to do nothing but throw the furtive glances in each other's directions. I can hear my rabbit captor snarling in my ear, feel the drool leaking from between his lips on the back of my neck. I clench my eyes shut again, the sensation trying to will it away. Then, now isn't this a delicious sight? All of you down on your knees. Footsteps behind us. Feel a chill creep up my spine as they make their way towards us. Didn't know you were all that desperate to... Jesus, I ain't saying that. I am not saying what he's going to say. I mean, all you had to do was ask. Orlam practically dances his way in front of us, giving his toes a happy little slap against the floor. He cocks his head to the side in unfocused amusement. Or what? Was that off for only one way? A pity. Gidget pushes up against the rabbit, keeping him pinned. Orlam, this has gone too far. Orlam leans back in feigned shock, revealing a large butcher knife he had been hiding behind his back. Oh shit. He taps the tip of it against it on his chin, brows arch. That's a bit rich coming from you, wouldn't you say? He saunters towards them, movements unsettlingly crisp as he brings his heels together directly in front of Gidget's face. Or is that haircut supposed to absolve you of all your past wrongdoings? He bounces the flat end of the knife again. Okay, at least it's blunt. And against the top of Gidget's head with a snicker. But Gidget can only grimace and I see them clench their eyes shut in a frustrated shame. Then again, Iggy has always been quite soft. Orlam rocks back and forth on his heels, swinging towards me with an almost impish sway of his shoulders. A bit too agreeable for his own good, wouldn't you say? A real people pleaser. He squats down in front of me. He clenches his fingers in my hair and wrenches my head back. Then in a rocking voice, I just want to make everyone happy. I feel tears prick at the corner of my eyes, both from the uncomfortable grip of on my curls and from the painfully accurate words. But I attempt to blink them away, ignore them, keep the focus off me. Orlam, I start my voice cracking. It's not too late. We can fix this. Put you back together. Find a way to... Oh, unless my head fall back to the ground with a thud. Fix this? You mean what I done? He lurches back to his feet, a faint giggle from the back of his throat. There's nothing to fix. This is exactly what I wanted. Why would I want to undo my Elysian ascent? He spins around, arms splayed, then stumbles back towards the stage. Instead of that, he pauses, just standing in front of the pedestal, watching the distorted, pulsating hunk of flesh pumping out its endless deluge of poison. His eyes shine with it. The darkness tried to swallow me. A snicker. Tried to drag me down with it, rend me into nothingness. A cowering caitiff, unable to escape the thoughts in my head, the enmity of those around me. And another. But I didn't let it. A guffaw. This one shakes his shoulders and chest, head rocking backwards. Too far. I rose above it, Iggy. He twists back towards us, grin overtaking his entire face. Nothing and no one will hurt me ever again. Yeah, and you won't feel anything else either. Gidget this time, giving another shove against the rabbit holding them. What about all those other feelings, huh? What about joy, and excitement, and love, and hope, and happiness? Didn't you ever want to feel happy again? I'll never feel happy again anyway! Orlam's body seems to snap. A strange, surreal, glitching motion in the air around him bends and warps. As the castle gives a shudder, the heart behind him lurching with a liquidy pop. Then a stumble to the side. First left, then right. He extends his arms in an unnatural shrug, his arms bending and popping. You should have seen the difference it made. 1 second I'm scrolling over the walls, trapped in a nightmare enigma of my own design. The next I just don't care. A laugh. I don't care about anything. He brings his hands to his cheeks in barely restrained mirth. Then stops. His eyes widening with a sudden thought. I have an idea. Let's play a game. Oh, the text is glitching. Oh no. Oh god. No, I don't want to die. After all, I haven't had a chance to test this yet, to push it to its limits. You wouldn't mind me assisting me a little, would you? Quality assurance, would you? Oh, this music! A king must be assured of his invisibility after all. He squats down in front of me with a delighted grin, blinking in anticipation. Come now, Iggy. This one should be easy for you. What's something you've always hated about me, He wraps his arms around his knees, watching me with a smile as though waiting for his favorite television program to come on. What? I can only squawk in confusion. It's not a trick question. Something you despise about me. That really ground on your nerves. After all, you all hated me so much. You must have a list a mile long in the most heinous transgressions. None of us hated you. Orlam blinks, his grin never faltering. Then snaps his fingers. The rabbit's holding me yanks me up by the back of my shirt, then slams me back into the ground. The impact takes my breath away. Vision flashing on and off. I cough, sputter. My chest and jaw scream at me, pulsing waves of pain running up and down my front. Orlam stands back up with a little wobble, knife to his chin as his lips curl into his pout. Come now, don't play coy. You could be honest now. Isn't that the key to any relationship? He taps the back of the end of his knife against his chin. Never had any problems with being honest with me before. But I don't hate anything about you. Another snap of his fingers. Another slam from behind. This time my jaw give a little crack, and the copper taste of blood spreads across my tongue. My lungs struggle momentarily for air, and when I look up, I see two Orlams staring down at me. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the music down just in case it's copyrighted. I don't know. I don't want to get copyrighted. Oh. Oh, oops. Wait. Alright, I think I read that wrong. Two Orlams staring down at me. Oh, there we go. Right before my vision is blocked by a ball of his foot. A loud, unbecoming whimper as he presses his toes into my eyes. Why are you being so difficult? All I want is a little taste. You must have so much of it built up in there. Don't be so selfish. A snicker. Or do you need even more incentive, is that all? Sweet little Iggy couldn't possibly say something bad about someone, could he? He swipes his foot away, squatting back down in front of me with a little smirk instead. Let's see if we can't tease some of those secret truths of yours out. We already know I have a knack for exposing other sides of you. He grabs my wrist, yanks it towards him. Oh shit, no, please don't do it. I can't handle that, no. Orlam then twirls the knife in his other hand. Which one would you miss the most, I wonder? Orlam, stop! Orlam, don't! He starts bobbing the tip of the knife over my fingers, playful tune on his lips. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a liar by his toe. Orlam, stop! The others are yelling too now. Orlam pauses as though in intense scrutiny. Then he lets the edge of the knife hover above my index finger. If he hovers, let him go. Raises it. Eeny, meeny, miny. I hated how you always walked so close behind me all the time. I clenched my eyes shut as I shouted. Every nerve in my body got pulled taut. Orlam stops. Just sits there for a moment. Thing pulls back, gaze going skyward and cheeks flushing in growing ecstasy. Remarkable, he says softly. Then again louder, stumbling back to his hands and feet and to his feet. His feet and hands going to his face. Remarkable! Laughter spills off his tongue, dancing in the air, ricocheting off the floor. I didn't feel a thing! More. He lurches to the left towards his heels to the right. To right himself, almost as though performing some kind of drunken dance. God, this feels great. Then spins back towards me, pupils shaking in their sockets. See, that wasn't so hard, was it? All the sequestered animus. Doesn't it feel good to let it go? To show everyone how you really feel? That's all I can do to fix my gaze on the floor, the sweet searing heat building up beneath my eyes across my cheeks. Orlam's gaze flicks towards Gidget. Then he's twisting towards them, eyes practically gleaming. Oh, Gidget, he sings, doing a sort of teasing moonwalk in front of their face. Really? A moonwalk? What did you hate about me, huh? I'm dying to hear it. I'm not playing your games. A snap. The rabbit holding Gidget slams them into the ground so hard I see blood fly out between their lips. Oh, boo-hoo! This one's fun, I promise. Don't you want to see how good it feels to let it all out? Orlam slides his hand up to his forehead, eyes flashing. What was it about poor little Orlam Brewbatcher that made you so offended? That filled you with so much antipathy. Gage is still attempting to recover. I see him trying to raise her head. Spit out a tooth to the floor. Orlam brings the toe of his foot down slowly and deliberately onto their hands, at first barely applying any weight. What do you need more incentive to? Then gradually, leisurely shifting his full weight onto his foot. Gidget groans, tears forming in their eyes. And they jerk their head back out with a cry of defeat. I always hated how your stupid rat tail, I think it looks sleazy and gross. This one makes Orlam jerk backwards with a sharp peal of laughter, almost as though he's been shot. God, if that's so good! He fans himself with a wistful sigh. You're getting me all excited over here. I hate him. I feel like okay, going off trail, I feel like he has a degradation kink. I feel like he's getting off on this, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I should hang all of you around my bed so that you can whisper sweet indignities in my ear while I sleep. He jerks forward, the momentum nearly sending him to the floor, but he recovers with a laugh, stumbling towards Genzo. Now for the climax, The anticipatory giggle, a high-pitched thrill in the back of his throat. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. He squats down, arms on his knees in front of Genzo's face. Though you already ridicule me so much, so this one it has to be good. A real zinger. He sneers, leaning forward to grab Genzo's collar. I want it to burn. I see Genzo's eyes go tight. His jaw taut. He looks straight into Orlam's eyes, then jerks his head away. Orlam blinks, sits back just a tad, then snaps his fingers. The rabbit holding Genzo slams him to the ground. Not sure why this keeps being necessary. Can none of you learn through observation, or are you all just too afraid of being outed for who you really are? I have to make it look like you care, But you've never had a problem with that, have you, Genzo? That mouth of yours could win in a marathon. Orlam crawls forward this time, fingers sneaking beneath Genzo's hat, clutching into his curls with a jerk. Come now, dear. You're so good at it after all. But he starts threading his fingers through Genzo's hair. Let it all out. The things about me that disgust you, that make your skin crawl. I see Genzo press his lips very tight, then jerk his gaze away. Orlam halts his ministrations, just staring down at the top of Genzo's head. He then snarls and pulls back, eyes flashing. Snap, snap, snap. Jesus Christ! This time the rabbit slams Genzo into the floor 3 times. On the third one, I hear a crack as Genzo's eyes fill up with tears, twin trails of blood being leaked down his nose. Say it, Orlam says. Strangely soft. Strangely calm. But Genzo just lays there, face against the tile. Say it, Orlam says again. Genzo coughs. He's got a black eye. Jesus. Sends a little tendril of blood drool down his lips. But says nothing. Orlam's eyes flash. The air around him seems to snap. He stomps forward, foot cracking against the tile. You're gonna fucking say it, you hear me? He grabs Genzo's wrist and yanks his arm out. And this time, he doesn't even bother with the lead up. He pulls Genzo's hand towards him, knife overhead, then slams it down over Genzo's index finger. Oh shit, no. There's a strange squelchy pop. And the finger goes bouncing and rolling away, leaving a trail of red in its wake. Oh god! Genzo's body goes rigid. Eyes nearly popping out of his head as he gasps, sputters. Oh god. Ugh. Bites down so hard on his lip, I'm surprised he doesn't chomp straight through it. Orlam's breathing hard, just gazing down at his handiwork for a second. Then the smile returns. He brushes his bangs back at with a satisfied swipe, cocks his head towards Genzo. See? There, see? That's what happens when you don't do what you're told, yes? You adorably untrained puppy. Tears are flowing freely down Genzo's face. And his face has gone white. Eyes, lips, whole body trembling as pupils go in and out of focus. The boy stumbled where his finger used to be continues to leak blood out to the floor. Let's try this again, shall we? Or would you like me to go 5 for 5? Genzo clenches his eyes shut. I can hardly bear to watch. My own eyes starting to fill up with tears, blurring my vision. Just do it, Genzo, I whisper hoarsely. It's silent a moment. Then Genzo's eyes pop back open, jaw taut and trembling. He shakes his head, jolting jerks to the right and left, like a child refusing to share a favorite toy. Orlam's smile follows, his face strangely blank, just staring down at Genzo. Why won't you say it? The words are so soft, I don't even hear them at first. Then, why won't you say it? Louder. His shoulders are trembling now. Why won't you fucking say it? This one's a scream that rips his vocal cords and bites my eardrum. You got Genzo's head in both hands, screaming straight into his face. Everybody fucking knows, so just say it already. He shakes Genzo's head so hard, drool and snuff flying out of his nose and mouth, his fingers gouging in Genzo's hair and cheeks. Say how much you fucking hate me. Genzo clenches his eyes shut against the onslaught, still saying nothing, which Orlam takes as another sign of refusal. He shrieks, "Let's go!" Genzo's head. He grabs Genzo's arm again instead, this time gripping it by the wrist and yanking the entire thing towards him, knife going skyward. Say it or I'll cut your whole fucking arm off! Orlam's breath is ragged now. He stares at Genzo, glares at Genzo, knife poised and quivering. Genzo's arm helpless beneath his breath. Genzo simply turns his head away. Damn. Like honestly, I can see where Genzo's going with this, because he's bullied Orlam so much that Orlam's pretty much just gone numb to it. He has literally gone numb. And honestly, seeing Genzo like this is very painful. Like this is how a story should be, but like, Jesus, God. I'm pretty sure Genzo wants to apologize more now than ever. Almost as though surrendering. Orlam starts to shake. Then he jerks backwards as though he's been stabbed, screaming. The knife drops to the ground as he clutches at his head. Lurches backwards. Lurches to his feet, stumbling and wobbling and teetering. Back. Oh God, dude, the jerky movements are so weird. Wailing so loud I can hear his throat ripping and tearing. As behind him, the heart twitches and jumps, bubbles popping in the surrounded muck. Back and forth he reels, nearly falling to the floor, tripping over his feet. A strange, drunken, grief-struck dance. He finally slows, body crumbling in on itself as his shoulders sag and his knees bend, nearly to the floor. He stands there, slumped and silent. Then Genzo starts to move. Shit. Oh. Oh. He's trying to get back up on his feet. Oh shit! He got out of the grip. Damn. Ooh. Stop him, you idiot! Stop him! Oh! Oh, he bit him! Oh, shit. Stay away! Oh, shit. I said stay away! Stay away! Oh? I'm sorry. I never hated you. I was just so scared, so fucking scared of how people would look at me. Because I saw how they looked at you. And rather than do anything about it. Because of stupid, sad, scared little kid. And I'm just so fucking sorry. Oh, little Genzo! Oh. Aww. Oh shit. What the fuck? Orlam? Orlam! You gotta be fucking kidding me. His heart's leaking blood now. Wait. Holy shit. The castle starts to shake. It starts as a low rumble. The tiles buzzing and vibrating beneath us. Then extends up into the walls. The window panes rattling in their frames. Pews shivering as they start sliding across the floor with a long creaking groan. A horrific crash snapped me out of my trance. One of the giant chandeliers has snapped in its chain and comes smashing to the ground. Shards of glass and metal bouncing, flying, hunks of ceiling plaster thudding next to it. It's at this point that the rabbits must say fuck it, because they're already up on their haunches, skittish eyes flicking across the crumbling cage around us. The one holding me screeches something, and a high-pitched cry of alarm amongst the din. Then it scampers off, followed quickly by the others. The trio of them bolting for the door as another giant chunk of the ceiling comes crashing down on top of the pews. I push myself to my feet with a wobble, heart beating in my ears. Genzo? But Genzo could only look up at me, white-faced, confusion, Orlam still limp in his arms, and leaking more and more of the offending ooze across the floor. The heart! Gidget shouts as they come stumbling over. Jesus Christ, that's loud as hell. I apologize if these sounds are loud though. Hold up. Okay, I'm gonna turn the sound down just there, just so it's not that loud. Another crash. This one's right next to me. I jump and slap my hands to my ears. Grab the heart! This seems to snap me out of it because with a jerk twist in my own heart, I lurch towards the pedestal. Red. The red is everywhere now. Like a fountain overflowing, pumping down across the pedestal, across the floor, dark and slick and glistening. I resist the urge to gag and go sliding through it. I show my hands straight into the bubbling, frothing mass. My fingers connect. The squish between them. I can feel it pulsing through my palms and throbbing against my grip. God, fuck. I don't waste another moment. Back towards Ghetto and Orlam and Gidget. Clutching the pulsating lump of tissue between my hands. Blood sputtering out and up between my fingers. Painting my arms, leaking down between my palms, leaving a trail of red behind me as I run. What do I do with it? What do I do with it? My shout goes more hairy than I expected it to. But my own heart is going into overdrive now. The disgusting feeling of all that red slop slipping and squirting between my fingers, making my whole body shrivel up like a raisin, and my breath rapid between my lips. Gizzo takes one look at me, then one look at Orlam. The knife! Get me the knife! He squawks. Gizzo doesn't waste any time. They're onto it in 2 steps, practically throwing it at Genzou. Genzou gouges the string to Orlam's chest. It gets stuck in there. Fuck. Genzou gives it an impatient yank, which makes Orlam's body jerk, the skin rip open and squish around it. And I about to lose my lunch right then and there. I feel my consciousness already fading in and out of my vision hazy. After a few tugs, he's able to jerk it back out. It's left a nice gaping cleft where the incision had been. Without so much as a pause, he then shoves his fingers inside of it, gripping both sides of the fissure and pulls. It widens with a grotesque snap, crackle, pop, and that makes my stomach roil. Give it to me! Genzou's voice snaps me out of my stupor. I practically shove the offending organ into his hands. It's bleeding everywhere now, across Genzou's palms, down Orlam's shirt and chest, then growing pool of the floor. Genzou takes one look at it, and shoves it into the gaping hole. Nothing happens for a moment. Oh my god, I'm running out of breath from this arc. Jesus. The world rumbling around us as blood starts filling up the empty chest cavity. Then the 2 sides of the incision abruptly slam shut around Genzou's hand. Holy fuck. Genzou attempts to yank his hand out, but it's tight around his wrist, slurping shut around him, like round edges of a bottle. Shit! Now I'm down on my knees too, hands in Genzou's arms, yanking and tugging. Gidget on the other side, all 3 of us frantically attempted to extricate Genzou's hand from the suction tight grip. Finally, with one zealous snapping jolt, Genzou goes flying backwards, and the wound closes up. Nothing but a large, pale, pink, vein-like scar in its wake. We sit there, watching, until Orlam's body gives a jolt. A cough. Bloody speckles shooting out between his lips. But real blood this time, not black. Red. He lets out a groan murmur as his chest flutters with the convulsions. He's alive. He's somehow alive. I don't know how the fuck he could be. I don't know how the fuck any of this could be. Somehow we done it. A tiny smile spread across my lips. I throw a glance at Genzou and Gidget, both of them looking equally as relieved. The victory, however, short-lived. A giant creak from above grabs our attention. I turn my gaze skyward as I see a huge chunk of the ceiling begin to break off as one of the walls crumble forward. Shit! Genzou is to his feet first. The windows on the far wall splinter. cracks spreading across them like glossy webs against the black. Ow, my ear! Then they shatter, one by one. The wall holding them in place splits in two. Both fucking cats are about to collapse. I was like, just we leave now. Genzo staggers to the feet, voice sharp. You read my fucking mind. Genzo takes one last look at the crumbling foundation. He kneels down and scoops Orlam up in his arms. Let's blow this fucking popsicle stand. Then we're off. The three of us pelting back down through the din and the chaos in the crumbling, crackling walls. All this music! Back down to the walls, into the halls, so loud I can't hear. So loud my body and my head and my chest buzzing with the pulses of it. Gidget takes the lead, guiding us back down the quaking corridors. I focus on their feet, a harried rhythm. A harried rhythm pounded into the carpet. I let the rhythm fill my own legs as the rest of them festers somewhere between panic-induced numbness and screaming mental breakdown. Run, just run. Gets behind me, his ragged breath barely audible over the bedlam. Orlam clutched in his arms, around arms and legs dangling, bouncing at each frantic step. A thundering crash from somewhere behind us. Part of the castle has finally collapsed completely, and the walls around us give a shuddered jolt of their own, trembling on either side as we race from hall to hall. We make it back to the stairwell, the narrow passageway, left, right, left, out into the grand entranceway. The once red tapestries from my memory ripped and shredded and sinking into the ground in heavy rubble piles around us. The stained glass windows high upon the walls splintering and shattering, sending any shards of kaleidoscopic glass out into the marble tile. Gidget reaches for the main door, giant opposing but already rocking and creaking on the hinges. They shove it open with their shoulders so hard I'm surprised it doesn't even collapse on the ground around them. Then we're outside. Back out into the night. The first thing that hits me is the rain. Sharp across my face, but refreshing at the same time. A breath of fresh air, cool and crisp, as it washes the blood still painting my hands and arms and face. I close my eyes against it, just letting it wash over me as I fly out past the main gate, past the moat, past the shadowed forms of gnarled trees and half-ruined barricades. The moon peeks out through the clouds, even as the thunder crackles above us, lighting our way, casting our galloping forms in milky high contrast and etching our shadows across the path. Around us, I see flashes of ears, darting forms escaping the night. All of us just trying to get away, put a distance between ourselves and those once soaring spires, before the whole thing comes crashing to the ground. Gidget turns towards the forest, and I don't question them. Yes, that's where we're supposed to go. That's where all of this is leading, isn't it? We disappear beneath the veil of trees. Still pressing forward. But nothing in the piebald patterns of moonlight through the leaves to light our path. On and on and on. There's something incredibly final about it. Our fated escape. As though all this was planned from the start, and only now we're finally reaching whatever end is in store for us. Gidget finally begins to slow, and I let my momentum decrease in turn. Slower, easier. Well, actually, you know what, screw it, let me turn this music up. This is actually really beast music. My numb legs crunching more purposefully through the brush underfoot. My lungs catch up with me, a hacking cough between my lips as I stumble from tree to tree, fingers rough against the wet bark. None of us say anything. There's no need. We all know where we're going at this point, which is why it's no surprise when not more than 5 minutes later, the trees thin out and reveal a wide clearing. Bucks's cabin. Oh, we've reached the end, guys. But I'm gonna have to leave the ending for the next video. I know, kind of a weird place to end it, but this is kind of a climactic one all the same. I really want to save the ending for the final video. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!